Waldo Politics is now live. Streaming Just Chatting. The Trump government does political violence every day.
Turn the friggin' frogs gay. Turn the
So many bots today. Get your shit together. I forgot the Twitch button. Or did I don't know anymore.
Oh, hi. How you doing? My name is Waldo, and I'm here to feel the politics with you. How's everybody today? I am doing great, thank you. I might have forgotten to start Twitch stream. I don't know. It seems like it's been going for a few minutes, but I think I got it. I think I got all the buttons. There's so many buttons that I goof them up sometimes, and even after years of doing this, I still goof it up. Hi, how's it going? So yeah, let's see. Is Kick going to work today? Kick is a pretty shitty website filled with bots. And sometimes, a lot of times, their site doesn't work very well. So I'm going to have my eye on it over here. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the stream. I'm looking at the Kick stream. It looks like it's working. But last week, it was cutting off every minute or so. So I'm going to keep my eye on that as best I can. And that means we might get more bots, because every time you go live, another bot jumps in to tell you that they would like to sell you a bunch of audiences. And I don't much appreciate that. So I ban them, and it's fun. I have a good time banning them. But anyway, what the hell am I doing? Oh, yeah, I'm doing a politics stream. Yeah, today is Saturday, so I will be looking at a bunch of links. I'll be talking about a bunch of things. I'll bring up some points, and then we'll rant about the state of the government and all that fun stuff. So that is what we're doing today. If you'd like to participate, hop in a chat, tell me what you're thinking, tell me what you're feeling. If you're in Twitch chat, the lovely Robot will read your messages out loud. So you can tell me what you're thinking, tell me what you're feeling. And the wonderful little robot will read it out loud. And what I'll do is I'll take all these streams, and I take the streams, I cut them down and turn them into YouTube videos, and then I post them up on YouTube so that you can watch them later and see anything you missed, or just get a shortened version of what I'm talking about without all the uhs and the ums and the awkward pauses. So that is the thing. That's what we're going to do today. What should we start with? Let's check in on war-ravaged Portland, Oregon. I think that's where we should start. I think we should begin by checking a live feed of war-ravaged, war-destroyed Portland, Oregon. There it is. As you can see, it is completely destroyed. The entirety of Portland, Oregon has ceased to be. It is no longer standing. It has collapsed. The entire civilization there has been ruined by Antifa. And you can tell, see, it's load. Look at that. That's a load screen. It's because they have to reload all the devastation. It's very complicated and difficult to put that much devastation onto one screen. Let's continue to, I think there was another view up here. Yeah, the more destruction, chaos. Oh, here's another good view right here. Absolute, unbridled terror in Portland, Oregon right now. And that's sad that the people have to go through this. I'm not happy about this. This is so awful. But we'll keep this in the background so we can come back to it later. Get up to the minute updates on war-ravaged Portland. So why do I make these jokes? Why am I being silly? Well, because the Donald Trump, the president, is a liar. He's telling you that this is war-ravaged, destroyed, and a lot of people believe him. People who don't really get out all that much. They live in the center of the country. They don't know what the big cities are all about. They don't get it. They've never been there, but they hate it. They know they hate it. They don't know what goes on in Portland. They don't know what goes on in New York, but they know they hate it. So Donald Trump manipulates those feelings because that's what he does. He's a manipulator of your feelings. Some of us don't like that. Some of us recognize that and don't appreciate it. The rest of us don't recognize that and get manipulated. That the first way to avoid being manipulated is to recognize that it's happening to you. Most of the country does not know that they are being manipulated. So they cannot recognize it, so they cannot do anything about it, so they can't change or improve upon themselves because they don't know. They have no idea. So let's look at what happens in real life. This is a silly way to start off the stream, but I wanted to start this off here. Where did my link go? Here is some very possibly good news. I don't know if you've seen this. This was exploding all over the internet, but a Nazi interrupts a Psych 2110 class at college, and then they chase him down and hurt him. I'm not going to lie to you. They do. They did not take this very well. So let's take a look at this. Let's make it. Can we make it full screen? I think I can. Does that look good on the stream? I gotta scoot it over a little. Oh, jeez. I don't think I can. Ah, jeez. Ah, jeez. Let's not make it full screen. Sorry. I suck. Well, I can scoot this over. Right there. Then when I hit full screen, I think it'll work. No, it doesn't. Because it goes to the center of my screen. My screen is not centered properly. Okay. Anywho, let's watch a fun video. With audio, please.
Dude, get out! Get the fuck out!
This goober he came in and started saying anti-Semitic Nazi type things and throwing his hands up, and everybody started booing him, chasing him out.
Let's normalize punching Nazis again.
How dare you suggest political violence, Shinzento? Nah, I'm kidding. Political violence is and always has
Hell
been.
yeah.
And it will always be. We're going to talk more about political violence soon.
Oh shit!
There are like 100 people behind this camera.
Are you protected?
And he's running away because there are like 100 people.
Oh shit! Oh, out of here.
Look at them all.
Oh shit!
That's all the people chasing him out. This is what happens in actual real life when you do the things that Nazis do online. This happens if they're not armed, because they are often armed.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
And she is pepper spraying him, so she has sprayed him.
Oh! Oh my god! Yo! Fucking Nazi! Oh! Yo, they're gonna beat his ass! Oh shit! Oh shit! You see these ass me? Oh shit! Oh shit!
Now, bud.
Oh shit! Max, Max!
Are you fucking serious? What did you expect?
You guys serious?
What you gonna do now, bro? And you guys pepper spray me? What happened to calling the whole class retarded? What happened? I thought you guys were the party of peace.
I thought you guys were the party of peace. So much for the tolerant left.
Post-game interview.
Impunity. Reality
Post-game
sucks.
interview. How we feeling? Post-game interview, how we feeling? There's like 30 of you. Us is like... I'm not crying. Is that Owen Wanton or what?
And there's the campus police that came away for causing a disruption, I guess.
Make a hole.
Yeah, it's like 30 of you.
In the immortal words of Jack and Dean, tolerating intolerance is the same as being intolerant.
Absolutely right. And what this guy is doing is he's just sharing his opinion, if you ask a conservative. Is this political violence? Yeah, it kind of is. Political violence is not something new. Don't get confused when the media fucks up your brain. Political violence has existed for all of eternity. The entire time humans have existed. Cavemen were politically bashing each other over the face with wooden clubs to own a cave. It's not good, and we need to avoid it, but it is not going away. It will never go away. Every war is political violence. Why would you go to war? The politics don't match up, and so you have to go to war. You have to kill all the people. The Japanese...
Busting into a classroom to call people slurs isn't sharing his opinions.
I know it's not, but the
For
conservatives will
most of
tell you
history,
it is.
political violence is how all change happened. XD.
Absolutely correct, Valor. Shinsuto, I know I don't agree with that definition, but that is the definition that Fox News will use. They will edit that video that you just watched and say, this young man just came in and was sharing his opinions, and the entire class chased him out and then pepper sprayed him and then beat him up and then killed him and then lynched him and then murdered him. That's what the right-wing Fox News will tell you. That is what the posters will tell you, is that the evil, intolerant left chased this person out for sharing his opinions, just like they did to Charlie Kirk. Now, that's nonsense, but we have to recognize that, yes, that classroom of people was slightly being violent. They did pepper spray him, they did chase him out, and somebody did trip him and knock him down. They didn't lynch him, but this is... all policemen do political violence. All of them. Every policeman who has ever been in a fight, has wrestled somebody to the ground and cuffed them, has done political violence. It's just that we accept a lot of it because it's necessary sometimes. The things that these children did, and I'll call them children, they're in college, was necessary. The policeman who picked him up and put him in handcuffs was necessary. The pepper spraying, maybe not necessary, but the chasing was necessary. Get him out of there. Get him away from the people and get the authorities to arrest him. Political violence is necessary. So what you have to do is clear-eyed, with a good conscience, recognize what political violence is necessary and what isn't. When Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, that was political violence. When America firebombed Dresden, that was political violence. When we dropped the atomic bomb, that was political violence. When every single person who has ever gotten the Medal of Honor, brave, amazing Americans, have participated in political violence. But the problem is that in trying to score points on the other side, what will happen is that the right will call political violence they don't agree with political violence. Every bit of political violence they do agree with, well, that's necessary, isn't it? That's important. That's defending the homeland. That is keeping the American people safe. That political violence.
Cheap viewers on streamboo.com. Remove the space at 9wickjoetrz.
Thanks. I hate it. I'm gonna ban
Bad
that guy.
bot.
Yeah. That guy's been bad. Okay. And that leads me into the most important thing I wanted to talk about today is your government, my government, if you're an American, and yours, is doing political violence. Stephen Miller takes leading role striking on alleged Venezuelan drug boats. They're murdering people. Stephen Miller is murdering innocent people. I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. Stephen Miller is murdering innocent people. Because in our justice system, you are innocent until proven guilty. We used to believe that, but we don't anymore. If Stephen Miller suspects that you are trafficking drugs from Venezuela to America, he gets to murder you with Hellfire missiles. He just gets to. It's illegal, but he does it any damn way because he does not care about any other people. He wants to hurt anyone he can. He wants to exert his power. He wants to exert his authority because he is a tiny little man who wants bad things for you and your country. Miller's Homeland Security Council has played a key part in coordinating operations. Stephen Miller, the Nazi, has played a leading role in directing U.S. strikes against suspected Venezuelan drug boats. Suspected is the important word there. Suspected. Because we do not know. We are looking at them through a goddamn satellite and saying, yeah, that's a drug boat. Fire the missiles. According to three people familiar with the situation at times, his role has superseded that of Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State and National Security Advisor. This Nazi is now the Chancellor. He's the Chancellor of Germany. He's now like the violence Chancellor. I don't like this. This is bad, you guys. The strikes on the Venezuelan boats allegedly carrying narcotics, which the administration has claimed were necessary because interdiction did not work. They're lying. Interdiction was not tried. Interdiction wasn't even attempted. Have been orchestrated through the Homeland Security Council, which Miller leads, and the Homeland Security Advisor. He's got this made-up fucking title, just like Chancellor, because he wants to hurt people. Miller empowered the HSC earlier to become its own entity in Donald Trump's second term, a notable departure from previous administrations where it considered part of the National Security Council and ultimately reported to the National Security Advisor. As a result, HSC has taken lead on engaging Venezuelan boats. The people said a situation evidenced by his top deputy, Tony Salisbury, and others being gatekeepers to detail boats to strike and when they're about to occur. So he's deciding unilaterally kind of when and where to kill these people. That was the case, for instance, with the second Venezuelan boat hit with the Hellfire missile on 15 September. While the White House was informed the Pentagon had identified the boat as a viable target, more than 4 days before, many top White House officials only learned of the impending strike hours before it happened. White House spokesperson said that the strikes were directed by Trump, saying that he oversaw all elements of foreign policy. The entire administration is working together to execute the president's directive with clear success. Johnny doesn't know what this is going on. He would approve of it if he knew it was going on, but I don't think he's in charge. Donald Trump is too mentally unsound to be deciding which boats get hit and which boats don't. His brain is mayonnaise. His brain is ruined. He has been having strokes. He's probably recovering from one right now. He may have had one a couple of days ago. Unconfirmed reports, very, very conspiratorial. But I suspect that he is, in fact, stroking out. And because of the lack of leadership, what they just do is tack his name to these things. If you structure your sentence properly, the conservatives will appreciate it. Stephen Miller destroyed a fentanyl boat that was going to kill 50,000 Americans because Trump told him to. MAGA signs off on that immediately. MAGA loves that sentence. If Joe Biden illegally fired a
Almost
missile.
like what he claimed happened under Biden.
Yeah, exactly. If Biden illegally fired a missile at Venezuelan civilians, well, then that's bad. And the MAGA doesn't approve of that. They don't like that at all. 0 fentanyl is coming from Venezuela. None of it. They might be moving cocaine, but they're not moving fentanyl. It's just none. Atif, yo, bro, last night was like Resident Evil, man. Okay, that's cool. I don't know. So Stephen Miller is murdering people with your government, with your military, with your Hellfire missiles that your taxes paid for. I don't like that. I don't want him to do that. Here we have the photo of the boat being destroyed. And yes, these are boats that are used to move drugs, but they're also fishing boats sometimes too. Since the start of the Venezuelan campaign, White House officials have sought to justify the strikes internally and externally by claiming Trump was exercising his Article 2 powers, which allow the president to use military force and self-defense in limited engagements. This is not self-defense. Self-defense argument revolves around Trump's designation of Tren de Aragua as a foreign terrorist organization. He claimed a claim advanced by Miller in order to defend the deportation of dozens of Venezuelans earlier this year, the Alien Enemies Act, which was shot down in court, if I remember correctly. They said you can't use that because we're not at war. We're about to be. Oh, honey, we're about to be at war with Venezuela. We're killing their civilians. We're murdering their civilians. Tren de Aragua has been labeled a terrorist organization, and we are killing their civilians. We are inches away from war with Venezuela because Donald Trump and Stephen Miller want to go to war with Venezuela so that they can murder them and steal their resources. They have shitloads of oil in Venezuela. Remember that whole Iraq thing where we went into a war with Iraq under false pretenses? The government lied to us and told us that they had weapons of mass destruction, and it was a lie. Remember that? I remember that. I'm old enough to have remembered that. We went into there to kill their government and put in a government that was nice to us so that we could buy the oil for cheap. That's about to happen again. It's happening again right now. It was a Republican who put that whole plan together, wasn't it? It was George W. Bush and Dick Cheney. Republican fucking ghouls. And now Donald Trump and Stephen Miller are doing it again. And half of the country won't give a shit. They don't care. They like it when brown people from other countries get hurt. They enjoy that because their brains have been poisoned by a media that doesn't do its job anymore, that doesn't explain what is actually happening, by a money-making media apparatus that doesn't care about what's true. They care about what's profitable. They care about putting out, getting the clicks, getting the ad dollars, getting that money, getting the blue check marks to pay attention, getting everybody to retweet. That is what drives our current media, and saying flat out that Stephen Miller is murdering innocent civilians doesn't get you any clicks. I mean, if it does, it's hate clicks by people who disagree with you and also hate. But the algorithm is powered by hate. I've said that a few times. Pete Hegseth says 4 killed in U.S. strike on alleged drug boat off of Venezuela coast. It keeps happening. This is the 4th. This story was about the 2nd. This is the 4th one that's happened. The United States carried out a strike against alleged drug trafficking boat on Friday that killed 4 people. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said a day after the Trump administration told Congress it was entering a new non-international armed conflict with cartels. The strike, which Hegseth said he directed on Donald Trump's orders, appears to be at least the fourth in recent weeks. Hegseth gave few details about the boat or the evidence that it was carrying narcotics, other than saying the U.S. had confirmed it was carrying drugs. The strike was conducted in international waters just off the coast of Venezuela while the vessel was transporting substantial amounts of narcotics, headed to America to poison our people, said Hegseth on fucking X, the Twitter app. I'm not happy that the fucking Secretary of War is posting about his war crimes on social media. That makes me unhappy. Our intelligence, without a doubt, confirmed that this vessel was trafficking narcotics. The people on board were narco-terrorists, and they were operating from a known narco-trafficking transit route. That means he gets to murder them. In their fucked up fascist government, if they suspect you to be a narco-terrorist, they get to murder you, especially if you're not American. That is against the law. It is against international law. It is against war rule, the rules of war. These people can be brought up at The Hague for war crimes now. But they're still in charge. Hegseth has just given his fancy speech about how tough and strong the military needs to be. He's in charge. And he is going to continue killing innocent people. And very soon, we'll get to it later, he's probably going to come after innocent Americans. ICE is already doing that, but they're going to ramp that up. They're going to increase that in war-ravaged Portland. Political violence has always been and will always be. The trick is to control it, to put intelligent, calm, rational people in charge of the government to direct that violence properly. If someone is invading, you need violence to stop them. If Russia is stealing land from smaller countries, you need violence to stop them. If gang members really are hurting the community, you need violence to stop them. Political violence. The trick is, the important thing is to put intelligent people in charge, to direct it properly. Pete Hegseth ain't that guy. He revels in the political violence. He celebrates the political violence in which he is inflicting. Because he is too dumb to know what is good for our country. He is highly political. This man is highly political. The conservatives use that word incorrectly. They use that word to describe anything they don't like. They use that word to describe anything that's to the left of them. Everything to the left of them is political, and everything to the right of them is common sense. Because they're bad people. The latest attack on a boat comes as the Trump administration provided a notification on the issue of Congress in the form of a memo that attempted to legally justify the increasingly expansive use of military force against alleged Venezuelan drug boats. The notification was provided by senior Pentagon officials, blah, blah, blah. It's still not legal. They can say it is all day long, but we don't really have a legal system anymore. We don't have it. It doesn't exist. If Donald Trump likes it, it's legal. That's all. If he doesn't like it, it is illegal. That is the only system that exists anymore. Donnie likes it when these drug boats get blown up. That means it's allowed. That means it's not illegal. If Donnie didn't like it, he would say it's not allowed anymore. He doesn't like protests, so those aren't allowed. He doesn't like Venezuelan migrants, even if they follow the rules, so those aren't allowed. Donald Trump believes he has a license to kill. Here we go. After saying that the U.S. is at war, POTUS takes out another Venezuelan boat. He's telling you that he can do whatever the hell he wants, and you can't do a damn thing about it. What happens when a leader of a democratic country believes he has a license to kill and proceeds to use it? It appears we're finding out. During the arguments in Donald Trump's versus United States, the Supreme Court case that conferred immunity for prosecution for presidents committing crimes in the course of their official duties. The prospect of a president ordering SEAL Team 6 to carry out assassinations of political opponents was raised to illustrate the breadth of powers being considered. This chilling scenario was raised by a separate dissident, by Sonia Sotomayor and Ketanji G. Brown Jackson. But in his minority opinion, Chief Justice John Roberts dismissed such concerns as fear-mongering on the basis of extreme hypotheticals about a future where the president feels empowered to violate federal criminal law. You guys, he thinks that those damn liberals are over-exaggerating because it proposes a ridiculous future where the president would feel empowered to violate criminal law. And that's completely absurd, isn't it? That's ridiculous. How would a president ever feel like he could break the law? As anyone could have predicted, Donald Trump's return to office, it hasn't taken long to test the difference between nonetheless related scenario. He feels like he could break the law. He does. He just told you many times that he can break the law. On Friday morning, and the fourth time this month, American forces launched a strike on a boat off of the coast of Venezuela that the administration claimed was trafficking drugs. 4 people were killed, bringing the total number of casualties from all 4 strikes to 21. As he has done with each operation, Trump took to Truth Social to brag, to celebrate the political violence that he has caused. A boat loaded with enough drugs to kill 25 to 50,000 people was stopped early this morning off the coast of Venezuela from entering American territory. The Bark Boys. Can you guys hear that? The Bark Boys are playing with a squeaky toy. There he is. Look at that. Can you hear the honking? It's quite distracting, actually.
Too cute.
I know. The honking. If Bubble comes over here, I'll
Praise to
grab
the
him.
honk mother.
Honk mother. It's true. Let me grab him. I'll put him on screen.
Honk honk.
Honk. Okay, he's mad.
He doesn't want you. He wants to play. Come on. Come on. I mean, well.
He does not want to be on screen. He wants to
Holy
play. He
shit.
wants to chase. He wants to
KB
run.
Pond Twitch is awesome. They just dropped 1 bit. At KB Pond Twitch, thank you for the 1 bit. KB Pond Twitch just cheered 1 bit.
I don't know how to turn that off. I swear to God. I wish I could. I wish I could turn the robot lady off, because it says something funny every time you do a 1 bit. It says, if you read this, you are gay, LMAO, and that's funny. But I can't make the lady shut up. I don't know how to make her shut up. I appreciate the 1 bit, KBP. Thank you very much. Yeah, honk mother. Yeah, is honky. That's it. I'm canceled. God, my entire Twitch career ruined in a single moment. Yeah. So, and it's hard to rant. It's hard to hold the hatred for the conservatives and the anger that I have when Bobo's honking in your ear. But I guess I need that. We all need that. We all need to chill out. We need to relax. Don't be so angry, Waldo. Be chill. Be fun. Have a good time with the war crimes. Enjoy and laugh at the war crimes that are happening in your name and with your tax dollars. Remember that Bobo is here to make us feel good. And when he makes us feel good, we forget slightly that there's a war crime going on. So, yeah, let's see. Is there anything else about war crimes? Here we go. Hey, here we go. This is murder. Trump bombs another boat in the Caribbean. U.S. government must be held accountable, said Amnesty International. They're an actual organization that determines what war crimes are. They know what they're talking about. Amnesty International is a very large, let me find out what they actually are. I think they're a group of lawyers. Amnesty International is a global grassroots movement of independent non-government organizations and campaigns to protect human rights and end abuses worldwide. Founded in 1961, they conduct research, publish reports, and mobilize activists to expose human rights violations, advocate for justice, and hold government accountable for upholding international human rights standards. They're not just Waldo shit-talking on the internet, because that's what I am. I'm a shit talker online. I dig that. I recognize that. They're a bit more serious than I am. They're more important. President Donald Trump and Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth announced on social media Friday that they bombed another boat in the Caribbean, at least the fourth alleged drug smuggling vessel attacked by the U.S. military since September. Critics, including congressional Democrats, legal scholars, and human rights groups, have stressed that even if the boats recently bombed by the Trump administration were trafficking drugs, even if they were, the strikes still violate international and federal law. Such criticism has not deterred the administration. So they're doing illegal, unlawful things, and they don't mind. They don't care. They think it's awesome. They think it's based. They think it's red-pilled. They love it. They love breaking the law if it hurts the correct people. That is the point. That is the problem. That is why I'm so upset with them. That is why I cannot accept them. That is why I fucking wanted to build a goddamn YouTube channel to yell about them. They will hurt you if they can. If it benefits them to hurt you, they will. If it benefits them to kill Venezuelans, they will. If it benefits them to raise your taxes, they will. If it benefits them to cut your taxes, they will. If it benefits them to take away your civil rights, they will. If it benefits them to kill you, they will. That is not the people you want in charge. That is not the people you want running your state-sponsored violence. And they do run that violence. The state has a monopoly on violence. They're the only ones allowed to do it. And we have built our society that way. You are not allowed to violently take things. Even if you think that you are deserved them. If someone tried to steal from you, you are allowed to violently stop them. And they are doing violence by stealing from you. If you think that something should be yours and you violently take it, you might still be in trouble with the law. You aren't allowed free reign of violence. You don't have a monopoly on it. The state does. The state is allowed to violently kick you out of your home if you are doing something wrong, if you're breaking the laws. The state is allowed to violently restrict your movement if they think that you are harming society, if you're doing something against the law. If you're breaking the laws, the state is allowed to violently stop you. That's the way it's always been. That is political violence. We have agreed on what the laws are and what they ought to be, somewhat. Some of them are still up in the air. Some of them are being constantly updated and or challenged, which is fine. That's a normal working society. But you have to put intelligent people in charge of these processes. And these are not intelligent people. Donald Trump is not intelligent. Pete Hegseth is not intelligent. Stephen Miller is an actual fucking Nazi and is not intelligent. He is evilly intelligent. The strike was conducted in international waters just off the coast of Venezuela, while the vessel was transporting substantial amounts of narcotics headed to America to poison our people. That's what the president said. We already read that. We can actually, can we watch it? Yeah. You can just watch our government do a war crime. Here you go. War crimes, baby. Yeah, there you go. Those people are dead now because our government murdered them. Why does the U.S. government have license to kill? Today, 4 people on a boat off the coast of Venezuela were executed by U.S. naval forces in an unprovoked attack and extrajudicial murder in international waters. Trump's aggression against Venezuela will provoke regional conflict. Of course it will. Because they want it to. He wants war with Venezuela. So that we can bomb them, destroy their infrastructure, replace their government with a government that is nice to us, and steal their resources. This is 19th century shit, 18th century shit. They have resources that we want, so we're going to kill them and take it. Because we need those resources more than they do. Conservatism is a backward-facing ideology, and they are doing some 18th century shit right now, aren't they? Minnesota law professor who served as chief White House ethics counsel under George W. Bush said, again, this is a violation of international law, and without the consent of Congress, a violation of federal law. That doesn't matter anymore. When Donald Trump is in charge, there is only one law. Make Donnie Happy. That is the only law that exists. And then he's going to use that war with Venezuela to get rid of 300,000 immigrants. Proper migrants that have come here legally. On Friday, the Supreme Court allowed President Donald Trump's administration to strip legal protections for more than 300,000 Venezuelan migrants. The justices issued an emergency order, which will last as long as the court case continues, putting a hold on lower court ruling from Judge Chen in San Francisco that found the administration had wrongly ended temporary protected status for Venezuelans. Three liberal justices dissented because they respect the law. The conservatives do not. Trump's Republican administration has moved to withdraw various protections that have allowed immigrants to remain in the United States and work legally, including ending TPS for a total of 600,000 Venezuelans and 500,000 Haitians who were granted protection under Joe Biden, a Democrat. TPS is granted in 18-month increments. So these people are following the law. They are not here illegally. They did not sneak in. They did not break the rules or the laws to get here. They applied. Our government said yes. We brought them over. Maybe they paid for some of it. I don't know how much we paid or they paid to get them here. And then they started working and earning a paycheck. And they were monitored. They were documented by the government. But conservatives hate everyone who isn't an American, isn't born American. They hate them to one degree or another. Some raging hate, like Stephen Miller, and some just have that underlying, simmering racial hatred. But they don't like them, at the very least. So they need to be punished. They need to be harmed. They need to be removed. They need to be kicked out of the country. They need to be gone. And because we're at war with Venezuela, he is allowed to do this. The Alien Enemies Act was shot down in court earlier because we were not at war with any of these countries. We are about to be at war with Venezuela, which means the Alien Enemies Act will apply, and then we will be allowed to kick these Venezuelans out by law. It's not an accident. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They want war with Venezuela so that they can steal, and they want war so they can use the Alien Enemies Act to kick people out. They will just lie to you and tell you they're a part of Tren de Aragua. Doesn't matter. The evidence doesn't matter. The government said it was true. So it is. Conservatives have no ethics. They have no principles. They have no guidelines. They have no rules. They don't care. They want what they want, and they will lie to your face to get it. They want what they want, and they will bend every law to get it. The reason that the three liberal justices dissented is because they read the rules and the laws and then apply them in that order. They read the rules, they read the laws, and then they tell you the outcome. Conservatives don't do that. Conservatives say, I have an outcome that I would prefer, and they tell you what the law means to get to that outcome. And if it's a lie, they don't care. If it's a lie, they don't care. If it's a severe distortion of reality, they don't care. They want what they want, and they will lie to you to get it. They want what they want, and they will bend the laws to get it. They want what they want, and they will do violence to get it. All violence is political. All of it. Especially if it's from the government. Can you hear the bark boys? They're out there. They're going nuts. It's very hard to run a stream. This is what I have to put up with. This is the hardest job in the world, and I have to do it. I have to put up with it. You know? I can't believe this. Let's see. What other state violence do we have today? Do we have more? Do I have more links about state violence? Hey, we do. Look at that. Federal agents handcuff a Chicago alderperson at hospital emergency room. In another incident caught on video on Friday, federal agents at a car randomly threw tear gas into Logan Square Street, where people, including a 2-year-old, were outside nearby. We have a video of that, I think. Where did that video go? Let me find that video. Because it's pretty great. Pretty great. Where are you, video? I thought I had that one loaded up, ready to roll. Shit, did I lose it? I didn't keep it up. But anywho, let's keep reading. Just at random. There wasn't even a protest happening, and they just threw a bunch of tear gas. Federal agents handcuffed Humboldt Park area Alderman Jesse Fuentes, 26, as she confronted them on Friday at Humboldt Park Hospital. Agents handcuffed Fuentes, forcing her out of the hospital, then threatened her with arrest, Fuentes told the Block Club reporter. The agents appeared to be with ICE, she said. It shows just how much this is escalating, said Fuentes, who is Puerto Rican and represents the Chicago neighborhood that is a Puerto Rican enclave. They don't care about people's constitutional rights. They can handcuff an elected official for doing absolutely nothing. Just imagine what they're going to do to the residents of the city of Chicago, whether they're documented or not. These federal agents don't give a damn. And this is true. They want to hurt the people they don't like. And if you stand in their way, they will hurt you too.
Learn your laws.
He has constitutional rights.
No.
He has constitutional rights.
He has constitutional rights, says the elected official. No, says the violent person who was not elected.
Do you have a sign?
No, you need to leave.
Turn around.
Turn around and leave.
They turned to freaking frogs. Yeah. Oh my God, it's a robot, folks. The robots are just everywhere today. Ban robots. The robots at least have the decency to click the follow button. Robots. What? I gotta check. Is my Twitch stream okay? My Kick stream. My Kick stream is fine. Okay. Kick is not bouncing today. Kick is doing okay today. All right. It was being very bad earlier in the week, but it seems to have fixed itself. All right. Where did we leave off? Oh, yes. The brown shirts were harassing this elected official.
I'm going to arrest her. You are going to be placed under arrest.
Do you have a signed judicial warrant for him?
Can somebody go in the hallway and get Lisa for me, please?
Judicial warrant for him.
Can somebody go in the hallway and get Lisa for me? This is an older person who's being under arrest. I need my other staffer who's in the hallway by registration to come here, please.
You are hurting. I am asking. I'm not.
This is what is going to happen to everyone who disagrees with Donald Trump, even in the smallest way. This is coming for you. It's coming for me. Someday, Waldo will be right there. If things continue down this slippery slope that we're already on, this will happen to you. This will happen to people you know. Because they want political violence used against the innocent people who are simply from who were born somewhere else. Immigrants do not have constitutional rights, according to this guy, according to what he just said. Let's just jump back to the very, very beginning.
Learn your laws.
He has constitutional rights.
He has constitutional rights, says the elected official. No, says the violent chud. How do you argue with a violent chud? You can't. You cannot use facts and logic to debate that man. You can't. You can unemploy him. The government, if it wanted to, could remove him from his position so that he would not have the backing of the government. But they won't, because they like it. The government likes what it's seeing here. Pete Hegseth enjoys this video. Stephen Miller beats off to this video. Because they are bad people, bad guys. They are harming our people. They are hurting our country, and I don't like it. They want this. They're calling for it specifically, and they want more of it. Because they are the bad guys. And if you're supporting them at this point, you're also a bad guy. If you're blind to these things, you're a bad guy. Slightly less. But if you are ignoring all of this, if you're accidentally ignoring it because the algorithm, because you live in the middle of the country and you just watch football and The Masked Singer on Tuesday nights, and you don't know this is happening, you're almost forgiven. Almost. I sure wish you'd pay attention. But if you're voting, you're intentionally ignoring this. You are willingly and intentionally ignoring these things. These people being arrested You're ignoring it because you like it, or because you don't want to get involved, or because you're kind of a bad person. Anybody supporting Donald Trump today is a bad person. I'm tired of pretending. I'm tired of pussyfooting around. If you support him today, you are a bad person. End of story. Now, there are degrees. Some people are worse than others, obviously. But if you're ignorantly supporting him today, being ignorant is bad. Makes you a bad person. If you're willingly ignoring these things that you see on screen, you're intentionally being bad. If you're supporting these ideas because you don't like the people involved, you're a bad person. And when the public sees bad people, they do this.
What happens? I thought you guys were the party of peace.
I thought you guys were the party of peace. This is a bad person in real life who doesn't have state-backed violence behind him. But if you do have state-backed violence, you get to arrest people. We need a better government. We need intelligent, conscientious people in government, not hateful monsters, because that's what we've got now. Everyone who isn't a hateful monster has been chased out of the government. And now the government is a hateful monster. And all of us will suffer for it. So we're going to call that the first video. Then we're going to move on to, well, that's our first one. So programming note, I will not be available for a stream this coming Wednesday. I know I usually do Wednesday nights, but this coming Wednesday, I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to be busy, so I'm not going to be able to do a stream. So I'm going to turn that, what we just watched, into a video, post that up on the YouTube, let the YouTube people see it. Then I'll throw another one up on Wednesday or something like that. So we're making YouTube videos today. Thanks for being here. I appreciate everybody who's here. Thanks for coming. Thanks for helping me to make interesting YouTube videos. Because I don't really script all of it, any of it. So this is how I make my YouTube videos. I look at the news, I tell you what I'm thinking, I tell you what I'm feeling, and then you get to chip in. So going over to the YouTube link if you'd like, and tell me what you're thinking on YouTube. Go on over there, yell at someone, click the subscribe button, smash the bell, break someone's heart in the comments, because the YouTube algorithm is powered by hatred. So if you go there and you spread hatred toward anybody, I don't care who it is. If you go in there and you hate Donald Trump, the YouTube algorithm spreads that. If you go in there and you hate me, the YouTube algorithm spreads it. If you go in there and hate the video, if you hate Bobo, the YouTube algorithm will spread that. Seems unlikely, seems impossible. But if you did, the YouTube algorithm would spread that around. So what else do we have to look at today? Let's make another YouTube video. Let's check on, let's check on Portland. Let's check out Portland. Here we go. Checking in on them. They are still destroyed. The rebuilding efforts may never be able to rebuild. We may never be able to rebuild Portland. Y'all, it's ruined. It's destroyed. We may never be able to rebuild it. And that's sad. Let's watch the military assault on Chicago. Hooray! Military assault on Chicago. Whether it's ICE or troops, the tactics are what matters. Trump's military-style operations have taken a significant turn for the worse. After promising the use of newly minted War Department on the third largest city in the country, Trump seemed to back down. But in the last week, operations have ramped up, and they're right in front of Trump Tower. That's amazing. Look at that photo. Masked, Gestapo, jackbooted thugs marching down the street in front of Trump Tower. It's beautiful, really. And they brought boats. Don't worry, they brought boats to get all those immigrants that are crossing the river. They misunderstand. They don't quite understand what the whole river crossing thing. They heard the term wetback, and they just really were like brought the boats. First, There were ICE agents patrolling the tourist-centric streets in the city and running boats up and down the Chicago River. The show of force was both disturbing and more idiotic than anything else, a sliding scale that accompanies pretty much everything Trump does. Meanwhile, at the Broadview ICE facility, things have been heating up with the ICE agents, shooting more protesters with rubber bullets and using gas agents against peaceful protesters. Today, military Barbie Kristi Noem joined snipers on the roof of the facility for yet another cosplay photo op. Everything points to ICE increasingly looking for an excuse to use even more heavy-handed violent tactics because they are the Department of Kick-Ass Videos. We will talk about the Department of Kick-Ass Videos later, but they want more kick-ass videos. They love rock and roll music as protesters are hurt. And we saw this video the other day, the photo here of an American person carrying an American flag being tear gassed for protesting the violent military takeover of our country. The biggest escalation came a few nights ago when ICE agents literally invaded an apartment complex on Chicago's South Side. They invaded an apartment complex, with agents rappelling from Black Hawk helicopters, cutting down the iron fence around the complex, using flashbang grenades, going door to door through the complex. They dragged men, women, and children from the building in the middle of the night, taking many away in unmarked vans. That happened in America, y'all. And nobody fucking noticed. Well, some of us noticed. But it's not like, screaming from the rooftops, which it should be. Chris Hayes had a good report on this truly horrific raid. Let's watch him do a thing.
You're getting new reports about a chilling and downright shocking escalation of ICE tactics against the residents of Chicago. In the middle of the night, hundreds of armed federal agents and police, backed up by riot trucks, smoke grenades, and helicopters, breached fences and busted doors in an immigration raid on an entire apartment building on the city's south side. They pulled dozens of residents from their homes and zip ties, including children, some of them without any clothes. They then held some outside for hours and dragged the others into rented vans.
It was scary because I've never had a gun put in my face.
Neighbors like Ebony Watson says they ducked for cover as they heard several flashbangs go off.
They was terrified. The kids was crying. People were screaming. They looked very distraught.
To conservatives, this is fine. Why is this fine? Because they don't look like conservative people. This is racism. It really is. They hate these people and want them harmed. We seem to find ourselves lost in semantics in this battle, somehow differentiating the legality of these actions depending on whether the National Guard or military troops are used. It doesn't matter. When masked agents in full tactical gear are carrying out military operations, they need to be called just that. I'm sure Chicago is doing everything it can to legally stop these operations, but that is not going to stop Trump, Noem, or Stephen Miller. We need to spread the word. These are not the tactics of the vast majority of Americans agree with. Do your small part, share this and other stories of abuse on your social media accounts. Every bit helps. That is the only recourse we have. Tell people what you're seeing. Make a YouTube video about it. Tell other people to watch this one. Tell other people to watch Chris Hayes. Tell other people around you that they are doing bad things to American people. They are hurting innocent people with your government. Your government that you're a part of is hurting innocent people. Tell them to stop. Tell them we don't like it. Tell them that political violence doesn't just happen when one person shoots Charlie Kirk. No. Political violence happens all around you every day. Always has. We need to understand it and we need to direct it the right way, not towards innocent people and American civilians. But don't worry, here's Donnie. To ICE, Border Patrol, law enforcement, and all U.S. military, as per my August 2025 direct executive order, please be advised that from this point forward, anybody burning the American flag will be subject to 1 year in prison. You will be immediately arrested. Thank you for your attention to this matter. He's telling ICE and the Border Patrol and law enforcement and the military to abandon your First Amendment rights. The Supreme Court has already determined that burning the American flag, while distasteful, is legal, allowed. You can do that as a form of your protest. But he does not like that. He does not appreciate your protest. He does not respect your First Amendment. So he wants the military to violently stop you. He wants the Border Patrol to violently harm you if you exercise that right. He wants ICE to violently hurt you if you use that right. Because he does not know what the First Amendment is. He doesn't know what it means. He has no idea. He is a fascist. He wants what he wants, and he will hurt you to get it. So what else we got? Right-wing journalist tells Fox News an Antifa-affiliated Portland protester gave her a black eye. Katie ended up with a black eye courtesy of Trantifa. They, them is still on the loose, says Jesse Waters, my favorite dummy. God, he's such a piece of shit.
Journalist attacked. Post Katie Davis Court is the post-millennial journalist attacked.
God, look at her. She is so excited. She is so happy that this happened to her. God, this is the best day of her life. She is...
That looks fake as shit.
I know, it does. She is hard as a rock right now. She is turgid. She is rock hard right now. Telling you that Antifa hurt her and that the American government needs to go and kill a bunch of trannies. Like, she loves that. She's hard as a rock right now. She has never been more happy in her entire life.
Wow, that is quite a shiner. You all right?
Oh, yeah, I definitely have a black eye. So that's what it's been like covering Portland for the past 4 months. Complete lawlessness.
Wow.
Lawlessness. Let's check in on the lawlessness. There it is. Lawlessness, everybody. Look at it. Feel the look at that anarchy. That is just shocking. Anarchy. Top to bottom. I actually had my roving reporter. I don't know if I can put this up on screen, but I'm going to try. I do, in fact, have a roving reporter who can put things on screen.
Just like the ex-Antifa interview. Looked like a staffer in a mask.
I know, right? So can I show you the video that someone took? Shit. I don't think I can. Can I? It's in Movie Maker or some shit. I don't know what the hell it's in. Can I put it on screen is the trick. No, I can't. Because I'm not smart enough, but I'll post it up on my. Maybe I'll put it in the YouTube video. That's what I'll do. I'll put it in the YouTube video. Anyway, well, can I? I don't know how screen caps work. I don't understand how my own screen cap system works. Can I look at? There, go, maybe. Finger flicks, go. Did that work? Shit, it didn't work. All right, sorry. I sent a roving reporter out to at one of the places in Portland, and they returned to me a very shocking video. It's a lot like this one, but I can't put it on screen because I'm dumb, y'all. It's very hard to be a streamer. It's very difficult. It is very complicated. Putting things up on a screen, these buttons, they don't build themselves. I have to build those. So sorry for derailing the entire stream and wildly sucking live in front of a camera. If you like that, you should go to the Discord and tell me how great I am and press a thumbs up or a like button or something like that. It's the only way I'll learn. Anyway, the hell was I ranting about? Okay, let's go back to this lady who's just having the best day of her life. She's so excited. God, she is so happy.
They say it's just one city block. Is that even true?
That's not true. So it went from
Did they have video of her getting hit?
I don't know. Not that I've seen, anyway.
Being a war zone to one city block, but it's actually several blocks where that is
War zone. Oh, I didn't know it was going to stop. I wanted it to keep reading, keep going.
completely controlled by Antifa-affiliated protesters who harass, assault, and threaten anyone who they perceive to be a threat to their cause, including journalists, local residents, and ICE agents. And the Trump administration is absolutely correct in deploying federal troops here because Portland police has completely abandoned this zone. They refuse to go in, and everyone that shows up is on their own.
Nonsense. Madness. She wants everyone she doesn't like to be violently assaulted. She does. I'm going to tell you what she's thinking. She's thinking that this is great for her career. She's going to make so much money off of this. And she finally gets to be on TV with her big old shiner there. She's also a fascist. She wants people hurt. She wants these people hurt because of their political ideology. A journalist in the far-right news outlet, The Post-Millennial, told Fox News' Jesse Waters on Wednesday night that they were assaulted by an Antifa-affiliated protester during a protest in Portland, added that the Trump administration is absolutely correct in deploying federal troops. Sporting a black eye that she says was a result of a clash, Katie Davis Court stated that several blocks of Portland are now completely controlled by Antifa-affiliated protesters. Nonsense. Davis Court's appearance, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, blah, blah, blah. This is that. So we don't know how much of that is true, how much of it is not true. Maybe an Antifa person did punch her right in the face. That would be political violence. But her suggestion is also political violence. And that's the scam that the right wing is going to try and play on the idiots in the middle of the country who don't pay attention. Antifa's violent, so we need to hurt them. But that's not violence, you see. When you gas innocent protesters, that's not violence. When you
Back to normalizing punching Nazis.
I know. Right, exactly. Well, they want to normalize punching Antifa. And this is the problem. All things are political violence. Any force is violent force. Zip tying children, taking over an entire Chicago apartment complex with no warrant is violence. Kicking down doors to drag immigrants out is violence, but they like that violence. Punching Nazis is violence, but we like that violence. Punching Antifa is violence, but some people like that violence. Punching this lady in the face was violence, but sometimes we appreciate that violence. Shooting Nazis, the World War II was entirely political violence. Every person killed in World War II was killed violently for political reasons. Stop using the term incorrectly. The right wing is poisoning our brains. They're poisoning the discourse. They're poisoning the media landscape by determining what is political violence and what isn't. And this is part of the trick. This is not. I'm not just here to read the news to you. I'm here to tell you where they're tricking you. I'm here to tell you where they are doing mind manipulation to you and to the American people. The American people have had their brains rotted by the media, mostly right-wing media, because all the media wants to make money, so that means they're on the right. They won't move to the left. Even the best ones, we just saw with Chris Hayes over there, needs to make money. And he makes money by telling you what the right is and isn't doing, and hopefully the liberals will give him money. I dig that. I appreciate him at least doing that much. But he could make way more money if he pivoted to the right. He would. So would I. I would get so many more views. I would get so much more fucking support. I would get so many more views if I pivoted to the right and supported Donald Trump. But I won't, because that's dishonest. The people on the right are liars. Lies make money. Lies get repeated. And the truth tastes like shit. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants the truth. Anybody who's in here looking for truth and getting some of it is a masochist. I'm a masochist, and so are you. I know you are. I appreciate that about you. Let's keep looking at this. Yeah, see? Exactly. KVP's a masochist. I know he is. Federal judge sharply questions DOJ's over Trump's Portland deployment. So they're telling you that they're not allowed to do it. A federal judge in Portland, Oregon, Friday appeared skeptical of the Department of Justice's defense of President Donald Trump's recent decision to send hundreds of troops into the City of Roses. Those social media posts over the weekend, Trump claimed to deploy troops to Portland, asserting that domestic terrorists had an immigration and customs enforcement facility in the war-ravaged city under siege. I'm also authorizing full force if necessary, Trump said. In response to the president's social media post, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth signed a memo claiming that to federalize 200 members of the Oregon National Guard for at least 60 days. Oregon and Portland quickly filed lawsuits challenging Trump's deployment, calling it a patently unlawful and an unconstitutional violation of state sovereignty. Friday's hearing was over the state and city's request for a court order temporarily blocking the deployment. U.S. District Court Judge Karen Immergut, who was appointed by Trump in his first term, opened the hearing by stressing that the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals held earlier this year the judges have the authority to review the president's decision to federalize National Guards under an archaic statute, so they're allowed to say no. While questioning the DOJ, Immergut noted that the Hegseth memo did not cite recent events in Portland. It instead cited the executive order Trump signed in June to deploy 2,000 National Guard troops to Los Angeles in response to protests over aggressive ICE raids throughout the city. So the judges are coming out and saying it's not allowed and it's not acceptable. Let's see what else we got. The judge also questioned Hamilton on whether social media posts could serve as the basis of troop deployment, saying that she didn't know how she could consider a post hoc rationalization for an order already issued. So the judges are against this thing. They don't want this to happen. They're saying that you're not allowed to do this. But again, we don't actually have laws and rules anymore. If Donnie wants the troops there, the troops are there. That's legal. If Donnie feels like the troops should be in Portland, then that's the law. If he feels like they are, then they are. If he feels like troops sending the National Guard, sending the Marines to Portland is allowed, then it is allowed. You can read the fucking laws to him. You can cite where it's written down that that's not allowed, but he doesn't care. He owns all the political violence. He owns it. It's his to distribute as he feels fit. If he feels like the Gestapo should kick in my door and drag me off to the gulag, they will. I'm just a little bit under his notice at the moment. But you can change that by subscribing. And these people in Portland are not above his notice. They are not under his notice. He sees them, he hates them, and he wants them hurt. And so that is what he's doing. He's inventing the reasoning afterward. U.S. Border Patrol raids sweeps in citizens' family as Chicago crackdown intensifies. So U.S. Border Patrol raid sweeps in citizens' families as Chicago crackdown intensifies. This is the one we talked about a minute ago. U.S. citizens and families caught up in the raid targeting alleged gang members. Trump administration intensifies immigration enforcement in Democratic cities. Criticism over Border Patrol's aggressive tactics in Chicago. So they, without a warrant, went and rounded up everybody that was in this place and questioned them, harming their Fourth Amendment. But Fourth Amendment, who cares? Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about the Fourth Amendment, especially conservatives. They don't even think that thing is real. So we already talked about this one. What else do we got? And here we go. The lie secretary is going to tell you why it's okay.
President Trump will end the radical left's reign of terror in Portland once and for all. The president has directed Secretary Hegseth to provide all necessary troops to protect war-ravaged Portland and any ICE facilities under siege from attack by Antifa and other left-wing domestic terrorists. What's been allowed...
Why this is dangerous is because he call anything that he doesn't like Antifa. This is the fear we had back when George W. Bush started the war on terror, is that anybody they don't like will be called a terrorist. And that means you get to ignore the law. You get to ignore the rules. This is what right-wing people do. They identify an enemy. They define that enemy in whatever way they want, and then they hurt them. If you're Antifa, the government gets to hurt you. And the conservatives will cheer when the government hurts you. When the government comes to hurt me, they will cheer because they will call me Antifa. They will say that I'm a far left radical. They will say that you're a far left radical if you try to stop them, if you try to tell them no. If the people in Portland say, no, we do not need you here, we do not want the troops on the streets, they're far left Antifa radicals, and the government is allowed to hurt them. That's the entire game we're playing now. And people need to hear it. They need to see it. They need to know that is the game that is being played. We're not playing a game of budgets, which is why the government is shut down right now. I know that there's a thing about that, but it's about hurting people that the conservatives don't like. It's about hurting the people they don't like. It's very bright out there. I'm going to go shut that window. It's sticking up my camera. I'll be right back. I think I can turn this thing up too to equalize it, kind of. I mean, it makes my head shine, but it kind of equalizes all of that. There we go. See, that's a little bit better. See, hardest job in the world. You better hit the like button. You better hit the thumbs up button. You better subscribe. Hardest job in the world. But it's so much fun. What the hell are we talking about? Oh, yeah. The lady, wants to hurt you and me. That cross on her chest is an empty virtue signal. She wants to hurt you. She wants to hurt the sick and the poor and the lame and the immigrants. She is not Christ-like in any way. She is bearing false witness right here, right in front of you, calling Portland war-ravaged is a lie. It is false witness. When fascism comes to America, it will be wrapped in the flag and carrying a cross. And that is where we are. That was a very famous saying from a long time ago. And you're seeing it right there. So yeah, here we go. They was terrified. The kids were crying. People were screaming. They looked very distraught. I was out there crying when I saw a little girl come around the corner because they were bringing the kids down too. They had them zip tied to each other. They zip tied the children. I was asking, what's the morality? Where's the human? One of them literally laughed. He said, standing right there, he said, fuck them kids, said one of the ICE agents. Because he probably does, in fact, literally want to do that. I'm not going to do that. But pedocon theory being what it is, being entirely correct and true, this is not helping their suggestions that they aren't pedophiles, but I think they are. So I've lost my train of thought a little bit. What was I doing? I had one more thing to talk about today. What was it? Was it that Pete fired somebody from the Navy Chief of Staff? Nah, it's not important. He's firing people left and right. It doesn't matter. This person who was appointed in January had been key to broad changes made by the Navy's policy and budgeting offices, together with John Felon, a Trump mega donor who was confirmed as Navy Secretary in March. Harrison has reportedly sought to limit the influence of the Navy Undersecretary, who typically has a key role in managing the military's branch's budget. So he's firing the people who disagree with him. We knew that was going to happen. That's not a surprise. Nobody's surprised by that. Here we go. Trump charts path to total control amid government shutdown. So the government is shut down, kind of. Can I read the rest of this? No, I can't. Fuck you, Axios. God fucking shit. Fucking Axios. See, Axios, this is why the people are fucking stupid. This is why nobody knows what's going on. Because you charge for your information. And there's no way around it. Because we live in a capitalist hellscape. Information must be charged for. Either through advertisements, which pop up all over the fucking screen and you can't see anything else, and you get bogged down by ads, or good information has to be paid for. You live in a capitalist hellscape. Can we just pay reporters some other way? I don't know. Somebody think of some other way to pay them. Doop, 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 doop. So we're going to skip this fucking thing. Hey, here we go. More bad news. How do we start this video up? Are you a farmer in America? I have bad news. Donald Trump wants to steal from you. And this guy is going to lie to you about it. Who is that? That's Besant. He is a giant super liar about the economy. Anybody who says anything about the economy is full of shit, including me. So let's hear what this guy has to say.
At the meeting in Geneva, when I asked them, why didn't you continue buying soybeans and the other products, they had one word. Guess what it was? Biden.
Joe Biden has prevented China from buying our farmers' soybeans. But that's what he wants you to believe. It's a lie. It's a gigantic fucking lie. But he's going to tell you that it's true.
Biden. Oh, that sounds like malarkey.
The man on CNBC, the economy channel, just said that's malarkey because he knows it's horse shit. He knows that's a giant fucking lie. That guy knows it's a lie, and he just said it out loud. They don't buy it anymore because of Trump. Let's continue watching this because they're going to lay that out.
Maybe because it is, in fact, malarkey. See, soybean farmers in states across the Midwest are struggling right now because China typically buys more than half of all of the soybeans grown here in the United States. But Trump started a trade war with China.
So here's a nice little graph. October, look at all those soybeans we sold. November, it starts to go down. Why did it go down? Because we elected Donald Trump. The Chinese people knew this, so they stopped buying them. January, it's down to nothing. April, it's down to almost nothing. In July, it is zero. Johnny took office right about here, right about there. He got elected, and then right about here, he took office. And then they stopped buying them. Saying this is because of Biden is a giant, super lie. Donnie started a trade war, and the farmers are a casualty. Don't do that, Donald. Don't lie about it, Mr. Besant. Farmers, stop supporting him. It's that easy. Go in front of a fucking camera. There are cameras near you. If you're a soybean farmer right now, there's a camera near you somewhere. The news is all about that shit. Stand in front of a camera and tell them, Donald Trump started a trade war and I am a casualty. He is hurting our farms.
But it's the immigrants' fault.
Yeah, I know. That's another lie that they like to tell. Somehow the immigrants caused China to stop buying $14 billion worth of soybeans. Madness, insanity. They lie their asses off and you suffer, farmer. Farmer, you suffer when they lie. Stop voting for them. Stop supporting them. Stop wearing their goddamn red hat. They are harming you. And in your confusion, you harm yourself. In your plea to the government, Donald Trump will create subsidies for you. Where do those subsidies come from? Well, I pay for those. The non-farmers pay you. Welfare. When he ruins your profession entirely. Donald Trump has ruined your profession, and the rest of us now have to pay you because he wrecked your shit. Stop supporting Republicans. They are liars. They cannot be trusted. They will wreck your shit, and then they will steal from you after wrecking your shit. Because you know what's going to happen? Besant is going to bankrupt you, the farmer. And you, in your misery, will sell your land for cheap. Besant and Donnie's friends will buy it for cheap and own it. They are stealing from you. That is the entire Trump government. That is what they do. That is their modus operandi. That is how they operate. Fuck shit up, Wait for it to be sold for cheap. Buy it for cheap. Keep it forever. Own it. They're robbing you, farmers. They are robbing you, and you overwhelmingly voted for it. Because to not vote for it would be to either sit out or vote for the blue-haired wokies. I'm sorry, farmers. The blue-haired wokies would treat you better. They would. They don't let you say the N-word. It's true. They don't let you hate trans people unabashedly, but they will treat your government better. They will allow you to sell, they won't start worthless trade wars, unintentional trade wars, stupid, pointless, unnecessary trade wars. Don't come from woke-haired blue people. Woke-haired blue people. Woke people with blue hair. I like woke-haired blue people. I like that. We're keeping that. The culture war is why most of the farmers don't vote for Dems. The trade war that Donald started is going to bankrupt them. If you're a farmer and you're listening to this, please recognize that they tricked you. The first step is understanding that you've been tricked. The very first step is acceptance. The very first step that you have to take is to recognize that Donald lied his ass off. He said that trade wars were easy to win and profitable. They're not. He told you that China was going to pay the tariffs. They're not. And now China has stopped buying your goods, Mr. Farmer. He lied to you. He told you that Biden was bad for you and bad for the economy. All lies. He told you that the jackbooted thugs were coming from the left, and they're not. They're coming from the right. He told you the violence is coming from the left. It's not. He told you that the migrants were the problem. They're not. He told you the illegal aliens are stealing all your jobs and ruining your economy. They're not. How many fucking lies do you have to hear from Donald Trump before you recognize him as a liar? How many lies do you have to slap you in the face before you change your damn voting habits? You can. Most people in the country don't know that you can choose to change your voting habits. You can, in fact, vote for someone else. But that's part of their identity. They're right-wing, red hat-wearing conservatives. And they will vote that way no matter what, because that is part of their identity. They've been told, they've been tricked, they've been bamboozled into thinking that your vote means you are who you are. That tells us who you are down to your soul. And it's not true. It's nonsense. You do not have the soul. Your soul is not determined by who you voted for. Anybody telling you that it is running a cult, not a community. Because that's what the government is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a community of the people, by the people, for the people. And Donald Trump is doing things against the people, harming the people like you, Mr. Farmer. He's harming the innocent people of the community. But some people like that. Some people want that. Some people are bound and determined to be spiteful. Even though cute, adorable little doggies are available. He has just been such a terror this morning. That's his new little toy. You'll see it if he jumps back up here. I think he will. Or is he running away? Yeah, here he comes. Hang on. Here he comes. Here he comes. There he is. He's got like a little orange ball with a motor in it that rolls. And it has a tail. And so as it rolls, it flings the tail around. It looks like a squirrel. It really does. So Bobo is murdering a squirrel in his mind right now. He is murdering a squirrel. He is a vicious monster. Bobo is. He is violently vicious. He wants to kill. His bloodlust is insatiable. But because he's tiny and cute, we allow it. Anywho. Do we have one more thing to talk about today? I think we do. Oh. Shush it. Shush. Okay. What the hell is this? Oh, yeah. Okay. The well, let me just listen to what these people have to say. Let's listen to what these people have to say. Apparently, an FBI agent was fired because he wouldn't arrest and perp walk James Comey. Let's look at that.
Breaking moments ago, MSNBC has just confirmed, reporting from Reuters, that an FBI agent in the Washington field office has been fired. And they were fired for refusing to arrest and perp walk James Comey. Now, the Washington field office covers the Eastern District of Virginia. Comey is being allowed to surrender for booking at his arraignment next week. They wanted to perp walk Jim Comey.
Yes.
Reminder, Michael, that this is about humiliation and not actually about accountability or justice.
This is about humiliation. The accusation is all that matters. The normal MAGA voter doesn't actually care about the law or the rules or society. They care about cool videos, kick-ass videos. They need kick-ass videos of bad guys getting perp walked, getting handcuffed, dragged into the courtroom with excellent music behind it, with metal guitar playing behind it, because that's what they want. They want kick-ass videos. They want cool things. They want this stuff to be awesome. They need their government to be badass and not boring as shit. Government is supposed to be boring. It's supposed to be dry and uninteresting. Make government boring again. That is a properly running government. If your government is producing badass videos on a regular basis, it's not a good government. The conservatives don't know this. They want badassitude. The FBI is now actively working to put together a team to arrest Comey between now and his court appearance on Thursday. Like, he has already made an appointment with the court to say that he will be there on Thursday. They said to come in, and he said, yeah, I'll be there on Thursday. Do you think he's a flight risk? He's the head of the FBI. He used to be the head of the FBI. We know where he lives. But the other FBI supervisors have also refused to cooperate, said a source knowledgeable about the conversation and a law enforcement source familiar with the situation. The expectation is that the FBI will eventually find someone who will arrest him loudly with a camera crew. They don't care about law and order. It's a disgusting joke. Every time a conservative says law and order, they mean hurting black people. That's what they mean when they say law and order. They mean hurt minorities. That's what they mean. Actual law and order would be like, hey, Mr. Comey, come by on Thursday, and he agrees, and then he shows up on time. That's orderly. But they don't want orderly. They want kick-ass videos. They want somebody to kick in his door with screaming guitar music in the background, handcuff this guy as he cries, and then walk him up to the thing so that they can get video of it and show their MAGA chuds, show their MAGA faithful idiots that standing against Donald Trump means you get arrested and you cry and the people kick down your door. That's what they want. They want people hurt based on their ideology, based on nonsense, based on lies. They want to hurt Jim Comey based on lies. It's already proven. We already seen the evidence that he did not lie to Congress. One guy said a thing, he said something different. That other guy turned out to be lying. But if you like that lie, you'll say that the other team is lying. They'll say that Jim Comey is lying because you want the lie that other guy told to be true. So that's it. That's the whole thing. This isn't some nightmare terrorist organization. This guy's not organizing terrorist cells. He said a thing while under oath. Someone else said a different thing while under oath. That different thing was determined to be untrue. But conservatives want it to be true. So they will call Jim Comey a liar. And they want to perp walk him. They want a kick-ass video, dragging him in front of the cameras, crying. That's what they want. Because they hate you. They hate him. They hate law and order if it disagrees with their pre-approved ideology. This is entirely ideological. There is nothing not ideological about this situation. There is nothing not political about this. This is politics, pure and simple. There's no reason to bring this up. There's no reason to ever even talk about James Comey ever again, unless specifically you wanted to score a political dunk, which is what Donald Trump wants. He hates the people who disagree with him, and he wants the government to hurt them. Donald Trump hates Comey and wants the government to hurt him. So the government's going to try to do that because Donald Trump is a big old baby man who runs a violent government. We live in a police state now. While he's in charge, you live in a police state. I live in a police state. And if they take notice of you, if they want to hurt you, they will use the government to hurt you. And they will call it law and order. They will call it freedom because they do not know what those words mean. Law and order and freedom. They don't know what those words mean. They don't know what they are. They don't know where they come from. They don't know how to get them, but they know who they want to hurt. And how, historically, I know this is history, but Richard Nixon almost screwed up the trial for Charles Manson by calling him guilty. How does this apply, Waldo? What the fuck are you talking about? Have you gone off the rails? No. Richard Nixon used the word guilty to describe Charles Manson during or just before the trial, and the lawyers freaked the fuck out. Because if the president says you're guilty before you're actually proven guilty, it could fuck up the trial. Donald Trump has said James Comey is guilty. He said it. He posted it on in a tweet. He told the DOJ that Comey is guilty. This used to be a thing that presidents didn't do. Bad presidents told you you're guilty before the trial. If the president says you're guilty before your trial, what's the jury supposed to do? How is the jury supposed to take that information? Juries are supposed to be unbiased. They're supposed to look at the facts, look at the evidence presented by the court, not presented by the president on fucking Twitter. Donald Trump's a bad president. That's what I'm telling you. And we all know it. You know it, I know it, and the conservatives know it. They just profit and benefit from his bad presidency. And it makes them feel good when I tell you that he's bad. When he hurts my country, the conservatives like it. They sell conservative tears fucking mugs because they hate you. They hate me. They hate America. They hate freedom. They do not want you to be free. They want you controlled. They want you stifled. They want you to be in the box that they put you in for your entire life. They want you to fit within the box, and they want you to never leave that box. And they want to control what the media says, what the courts do. They want to control all of these things. Do I have? Well, here we go. And when they don't get to control, and it will lead to violence. It will lead to violence. All of these things. Donald Trump's presidency will not end without a lot more violence. Today, October 4th, won't end without some political violence. There will be political violence somewhere in the country today. There will be political violence in the country tomorrow. Every day, Donald Trump's administration does political violence. Every day, Biden's did political violence. Well, not every day, but most days. Every day, a government does the thing. They're doing a little bit of political violence. All law enforcement is political violence, all of it. There's no way you can avoid it. There's no way you can dodge it. What we have to do is put intelligent people in charge to direct it properly, to direct it at the actual harms of society, not the imagined moral police. I don't want a moral police coming after people for the things that they have imagined or the thought crimes that they have committed or the things that they have said. We don't want violence levied against people for the words that they say, or because that would be against their free speech, you see. But Donald does. And the people in charge of the conservatives do want that. They want you hurt for your thoughts. They want you harmed by the government if you say the things they don't like. And burning an American flag being one of them. They will harm you if you do that. Because they don't know what freedom is. They want control. They don't like freedom. They hate it. That's all of the ranting that I can do today. I am calling it off a few minutes early because I have to get ready for a trip this week. So I'm going to call it off for now, turn this into YouTube videos over the next week. Please go over to the YouTube page and watch them, or share them with other people. I don't know. Tell somebody else to come watch them. Direct them towards the YouTube page and tell them to like, share, and subscribe and all that fun stuff. That gets the word out. The more people hear these things, the more they will oppose it. Obviously. Thanks for coming, Shinsedo KBP. Valor, thanks for being here. Thanks for chipping in. Thanks, Robot, for all the reading that you did. And
Robot.
I appreciate everybody who's here. Thank you very much. The dogs are going ape shit downstairs, so I'm going to end this stream really quickly. Can you hear that fucking cacophony down there? I hate it. But I will be back next Saturday, a week from today. Not on Wednesday. Wednesday, my normal stream night. I will be busy. So goodbye. I love you. I'll be back unless the Gestapo comes to kill me.